Ah, yes, it's that time of year again. The time where every adult has the opportunity to be a furry and not be judged by society. It's Halloween! And one thing I've noticed over the years is that the older we get, the more it makes sense when people say that Halloween is their favorite holiday. I've said this before, but I feel like Christmas is the children's favorite holiday, while Halloween is more geared towards adults. Both can enjoy both holidays, but I can't help but feel like Christmas for adults becomes more about buying shit rather than getting shit. And now wait a minute, RaisorBlade. I was 7 years old and Halloween was my favorite holiday. Shut up, Hannah! Nobody cares! Yeah, just call me Jimmy at this point, given how many people want me fucking dead. And that's my best segue to talking about Scary Godmother, by referencing the fact that everyone in this fandom wants this kid dead. It's like the one thing that stood the test of time with this movie. Yeah, a lot of people grew up with these movies, but it's the meme culture that surrounds it that's helped make it a cult classic. And don't get me wrong, I loved these movies when I was younger. I was about 9 to 11 when these movies came out, and we're about a month too late to make that joke. But now the question I have is, do these movies hold up outside of this hatred for this 11-year-old boy? Well, how about we find out together? I actually found that both of these movies are free to watch on YouTube now, and have even been digitally restored to be in 4K. That's quite the accomplishment given that it was all made by a fan. For this Halloween season, let's talk about the Scary Godmother movies. I'm gonna do both in this one video since they're both only about 45 minutes each, and it just makes sense to do so anyway. It also gives me the opportunity to show off that there's a 10-hour video of the dance sequence from the first movie. Why? Who asked for that?
Wait a minute. Is this that same Jimmy that said I like to little girls?
Oh, hell no, boy. Excuse me!
So the first thing we should talk about with these movies is the animation. Now look, I get it. These movies are 20 years old, they're TV movies, the animation isn't gonna hold up super nicely, and I won't lie, it hasn't. I know that Mainframe Studios has a solid reputation. They made stuff like Reboot and Beast Wars, stuff I didn't grow up to personally, but also have strong fan bases. And again, I understand, CGI was still a new form of technology back then. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like they still look good. I mean, look at that! That looks like shit now! And this isn't the studio's fault, or even the animator's fault. That's just the curse of 3D animation. Regardless of whether it's for TV or for theaters, it's never gonna last quite as long as other types of animation. You know how 2D animation will rarely show its age, and stop motion and clay animation almost never show their age? 3D, on the other hand, usually shows its age in about 10 years. Not literally every time, but compare something like the first Monsters Incorporated to the prequel Monsters University, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, what does any of this have to do with Scary Godmother, you may ask? Well, because, like with any 3D animated project, it does show its age. But one thing I won't say, it's lazy. There's this great video from a YouTuber named Doodly who goes into depth on how the animators pushed this film to its limits the best they could given both the budget and the technical limitations of the time. I won't steal too much of what he said, y'all can go check out his video if you want, but he does mention that this was made by a small team of only about 25 animators all learning how to use 3D animation on the go. This crew had to learn 3D animation by themselves, all by hand. Which, given how new that technology was for the time, that's a pretty impressive feat in itself. And it's made even more so when you learn that the sequel, Revenge of Jimmy, had an even smaller crew and was made in only 3 months. Wow. To be fair though, the second movie does just reuse a lot of assets from the original movie, so I guess it wouldn't be too hard to make another movie following that. If anything, it surprises me that they didn't make more. I remember there being talks about another movie or possibly even a TV series following the second movie, but it just never happened. I don't know if this was due to the budget or Mainframe deciding to move on to something else, but oh well. Nevertheless, you can tell the animators did their best with what they had, and I think it's translated well throughout these last 20 years. Again, it does show its age, yet there's this unique charm that comes from the style, and it really goes to show that having an artistic styling really does matter over the simple, oh, animation must be good, if you ask me. I mean, just look at some of these expressions. They are remarkable, and these character designs? They're so simple, yet very memorable, as they help capture the characters' personalities damn near perfectly. Like how Harry wears a simple button-up shirt to help reflect his lazy nature, or how Scary Godmother is just peak. I mean, look at her. When I say the words Scary Godmother, a play on the traditional fairy godmother, this is what you think of. Now, a lot of that does come from the source material, which is the books from Jill Thompson, but that just adds to the great work the animators did for this movie, how they managed to capture the art style of the books and bring it to life. Again, for the early 2000s, that's very ambitious. It probably helped that Jill Thompson worked very closely with the animators on the movie to really capture her vision. Now, how often do you get to see that nowadays, where an artist gets to tell her vision just the way it is? It's pretty cool to see. It might be one of the most faithful adaptations that I can think of for a TV movie. And on top of all that, these movies look funny. Whether it's intentional or it's because of its age, these movies are so damn expressive. Between some of these shots and just making someone's head get bigger as they scream, you can tell the animators had fun whenever they got the opportunity. Didn't stop them from scarring the shit out of kids back in the day though. Which yeah, that happened. Kids actually got scared by these movies. I remember kids talking about how these movies freaked them out. But okay, we talked about the animation. Despite its age, I think it still stands out pretty well. What about the story and characters? I mean, it's honestly hard to say the first one even has a story. It's really more of one of those Vi movies where Hannah is taken to the Fright Side and gets to meet all these different monsters in an effort to get her to conquer her fears. And that's about it, really. There's not a lot of twists and turns or huge conflict or even a central antagonist. It's just Hannah at a Halloween party with monsters. As the story goes, it honestly struggles to fill in its 44-minute runtime. Like how the kids just spend the whole movie waiting outside of the spook house, waiting for Hannah to come out. They just sit there and wait for the entire movie, and we keep cutting back to them doing nothing.
Of course I'm the leader.
That's not fair. We didn't even vote.
You want to vote? Fine, we'll vote.
I demand a recount. That's still one vote for everyone. Recount?
What are you doing? Nobody has changed their vote.
I just want to see how long he'll keep this up.
Oh.
Recount!
Haha, insert US election joke here. The second movie feels a lot more like a story is being told. There's now more stakes with Jimmy being the main antagonist and his actions actually having an impact on the Fright Side, and then Hannah and the others have to work in order to save Halloween. Like there's actual stuff happening in the second movie, where the first movie is more or less just a vibe film. Now with that being said, vibe movies where not a lot happens can be great. Both Dazed and Confused and Surf's Up are some of my favorite movies, and they're both very low-stakes stories where not a lot happens in them. But I don't feel the same way as with Scary Godmother, I'm afraid. I mean, it's okay, it just doesn't flow the same way those other movies do. Certain plot points like cutting back to the kids, or having to order a pizza because of Harry's fat ass, it's just a little clunky and doesn't connect with the other plot points as well as it thinks. I mean, the whole point of the story is for Hannah to conquer her fear of monsters, right? What does ordering pizza have to do with any of that? The second movie actually goes and improves upon this by actually capitalizing on her development from the first movie. Not only is she not afraid of Halloween anymore, but she's fully embraced it, and is working to not only protect it, but make it better than ever. Even though she never becomes aware that Jimmy is responsible for destroying Halloween, that doesn't take away the fact that Halloween and her new friends on the Fright Side still mean a lot to her. It feels like the story actually fits into its runtime this time, while the previous film just felt bloated. Honestly, you probably could have cut the first movie down into a half-hour-long special if you really wanted to. But hey, it seems like they've learned from their mistakes from the first movie and worked to make the second film more engaging for the audience. Wouldn't be the first time that kind of thing has happened. Alright, well what about the characters? Well, oddly enough, I find myself loving almost all of them. Again, almost all of them. Bert, Daryl, and Katie are just kind of average kids, nothing too special about them. Hannah is also just okay. She's a serviceable enough main character, just kind of whatever. But the side characters? Oh my god, I can't get enough of them. Honest to God, Harry might be my favorite character, and it's because he's such a loser. It's pretty funny seeing him just be so caught up in his own shit without ever stopping to think of others. It really makes you wonder why Scary Godmother and the others even tolerate him in the first place. He does nothing but mooch off of them, lie to them. In one case, he even sexually harasses one of them. Like I said, he's my favorite character.
Wait, what?
Oh jeez. Sorry, but he's just so damn silly. He's the kind of guy who would buy crypto and unironically call Twitter X. He's that kind of guy, and I love him. I love how he eats all the food at the party in the first movie, and in Scary Godmother, borderline enslaves him so he can pay her back for the pizzas he ordered. The minimum wage in Canada at the time was about an average of $8.50. The pizzas were $197, tip not included. By the way, I love the fact that the pizza place will literally take your soul in exchange for the food. That's hilarious. It basically implies that the fright side is just hell. Anyway, at the minimum wage for the time, that's $8.50 an hour, working to pay off a bill of $197. It would take Harry about 24 hours of work to pay that off. Pretty much 3 to 4 work days. Not including taxes, of course. And yet Harry couldn't pay off that debt in a year. That's just fucking hilarious. How fucking useless can you be, my guy? Jimmy is also pretty fun. In the first movie, he's like the other kids and just kind of average. But the second movie steps him up to become arguably the best character in both movies. He has such mad, "I did not! Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled" energy. The way he just fully embraces being the villain, to the point where his face literally turns into a demon's. What is happening to this boy? Oh my god. It's even funnier given the internet's reaction to this kid and how a lot of people just want him dead for some reason. Like, I don't get it. He's just a kid, but it kind of makes it funnier in hindsight. Like, Jimmy is just so evil that the fan base wants to kill him. Linus is a fucking god in the Shark Boy and Lava Girl fandom. It's like the pure opposite of what Jimmy endures. Fandoms are weird. Then there's Mr. Pettibone, whose whole joke is that he's Scary Godmother's gay roommate. And yeah, I think the movies are pretty blatant about it. So much so, I'm surprised nobody's called it woke yet.
He's gay, but he has a special connection to classical music. There's many things that are interesting about him.
Then there's Orson and his family. A bit weaker, but still cool. I especially like the Count. I think it's pretty funny how he tries so hard to fit in with everybody else.
So other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the show?
Actually, fuck y'all, that was funny! It's even funnier when you know your history and know that Mary Lincoln actually went on to have a psychotic breakdown and be put into a mental home sometime after her husband's death. Could you imagine being there for that? Like, imagine the Count just walking up to Mary Todd with, like, a fake mustache or something, and then asking, "So other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the show?" And in that moment, she just snaps. "I can't take it anymore!" And then she jumps out a window or something. What? Was the play really that bad? Personally, it blew my mind. That is fucking hysterical. And I will resent all these plebeians for not appreciating that joke. Heck, I just love the darker jokes in these movies altogether. I mean, listen to this line from Bugaboo.
I thought monsters ate little girls.
Oh, that's silly. Little girls make the crust all soggy.
That is amazing. You know, I take it back. Bugaboo might be my favorite character in all these movies. Then, of course, there's Scary Godmother herself. I think she's best described as that really cool gothic aunt. And yeah, she's about as cool as that description. I do like how she's not all sunshine and smiles. She can get pissed off and hold a grudge at times, primarily with Harry. Also, I'm just gonna say what we're all thinking, and now that I'm an adult, I can say it with pride. Scary Godmother a baddie.
You can practically see her ankles.
Don't freak out, Max. After all, you can see my ankles.
We point to things like the Hex Girls or Raven from Teen Titans as the thing that got us into Goth Girls, but we are lying to ourselves if we ignore Scary Godmother in that conversation. We had our gothic rock bands, we had our gothic superheroes, now we have a gothic cougar. I'm just saying what we're all thinking, and I already know ain't nobody gonna disagree with me on this, okay? So yeah, that's the Scary Godmother movies. And yeah, they make me smile. While admittedly not perfect, these movies still have a resounding charm around them that's hard to miss. Even after all these years, it's easy to see why these movies have stood the test of time and still mean a lot to people. I mean, you have fans going out of their way to make these films available in 4K just so other fans can enjoy it now that Cartoon Network isn't airing the special anymore. So, to answer my question in the opening, no. I don't think it's just meme culture that's kept these movies alive over the years. There's definitely enough charm, laughs, and heart in these movies that resonate with a lot of people and still do to this day. And I'd like to think I'm the same way. I come back to these movies every year, or at least I try to, and every time I do watch them, I end up enjoying them. They're more than just a part of our childhoods. They're a part of the season. They're both free to watch on YouTube, so check them out for a spooktacular time. Oh, but you won't groan at all those boo puns, huh? Oh yeah, I see how it is.